You are asleep in a tent, face pressed into a sleeping bag, breath warm against nylon, with no idea what is moving beyond the thin wall beside your head. Out there, a bear can smell food through sealed plastic. A wolf can read the night through scent and sound. A big cat can cross dark ground almost silently. By every obvious measure, you should be easy food. A sleeping human cannot outrun anything, cannot see anything, and cannot coordinate much in the first confused second after waking. Yet most campers wake up to birds, damp socks, and a sore back instead of teeth. The reason is not that predators are kind. It is stranger than that. Most of them are avoiding you before you ever know they were there. The first layer sounds like arrogance until you look at the evidence. To many large predators, the human voice is a warning signal. In 2019, researchers from UC Santa Cruz worked in the Santa Cruz Mountains of California, where pumas still move through canyons, chaparral, and suburban edges. They placed speakers near feeding sites and played recordings into the dark. Natural sounds, dogs, and ordinary people talking. When pumas heard human voices, they often fled. Not shouting, not gunshots, just conversation. In several cases, they left carcasses they had already killed and were eating. For a predator, abandoning meat is expensive. It spent energy stalking, chasing, biting, dragging, and defending that kill. Still, the sound of nearby humans changed the calculation. That detail matters because predators do not live by bravery. They live by margins. A lion with a broken jaw, a wolf with a torn tendon, or a puma with one damaged eye may not survive long enough to heal. There is no safe recovery room in the wild. One bad choice can turn an apex predator into a starving animal under brush. Predators are not reckless machines. They are risk managers with teeth, and humans have been a bad risk for a very long time. For roughly 2 million years, members of the human line have hunted, scavenged, trapped, burned, surrounded, and outlasted other animals. Later, humans helped erase mammoths, giant ground sloths, woolly rhinos, cave bears, and many large predators from huge parts of the planet. In North America, wolves were poisoned and trapped across enormous ranges. Mountain lions vanished from much of the eastern continent. Wherever people settled, bold predators often died first. That creates a quiet evolutionary filter. The leopard that wandered too close to a cooking fire did not always leave descendants. The wolf that learned human camps were dangerous had a better chance. The bear that hesitated at human scent lived longer than the one that pushed forward every time. Generation after generation, caution was rewarded. So when an animal smells a sleeping camper, it is not reading history. It is receiving an old biological message. This creature is unusual, unpredictable, and associated with danger. Now place yourself inside the animal's nose. A bear approaching a campsite is not smelling human as one simple odor. It is receiving layers: sweat, breath, nylon, sunscreen, soap, insect repellent, toothpaste, freeze-dried meals, cooking oil, smoke, rubber soles, metal zippers, plastic wrappers. To an animal whose world is built from scent, a campsite is not natural prey. It is a chemical accident with a heartbeat in the middle. Predators are tuned to patterns. A wolf understands deer. A lion recognizes weakness in a limping zebra. A tiger knows the angle, weight, and panic of animals it has hunted since youth. Hunting is not a vague desire to attack anything vulnerable. It is a trained and inherited system for recognizing specific opportunities. A human in a tent does not fit the template. The smell is wrong. The shape is wrong. The surrounding objects are wrong. Even the silence is wrong, because camps carry traces of many people, cooked food, fuel, fabric, and tools. To a predator looking for a clean hunt, that much uncertainty usually means distance. Fire made that distance wider. Imagine an older human camp before farms, pottery, or writing. A group has stopped near trees above a river. Someone feeds dry sticks into a low fire. Children sleep close to adults. A few people wake and turn in the night when the flames drop. Beyond the light, an animal pauses, smells smoke, sees orange movement, hears voices, and chooses the easier dark beyond the camp. That scene repeated for hundreds of thousands of years. Fire is one of the few signals almost every land animal treats with deep caution. Smoke, heat, and flame are tied to wildfire, injury, and death. Humans became the species that carried this forbidden thing around and slept beside it. A campfire was warmth and cooking, but it was also a broadcast. Something here controls the thing the forest fears. Even without a roaring flame, many camps still carry that signature through ash, cooked food, lantern fuel, and the memory of human presence. Predators do not need to understand the symbolism. Avoidance is enough. There is another reason a sleeping camper is less helpless than it feels. Human sleep is not one long blackout. It cycles through deeper and lighter stages, and during lighter sleep, the brain keeps sampling the world. Researchers sometimes call this the sentinel function of sleep. Part of the sleeping brain remains sensitive to unusual sounds, especially unfamiliar ones. A repeated breeze through leaves may vanish into the background. A heavy step near the tent, a sharp branch crack, or a low sound close to the ground is treated differently. The body can pull itself toward waking before the conscious mind fully arrives. Anyone who has jolted awake in the dark without knowing why has felt that system working. Our ancestors who slept through every warning were less likely to become ancestors. The ones who woke to strange movement, shifted closer to the fire, grabbed a tool, or alerted the group had better odds. Human sleep kept some vulnerability, but it also kept a watchman hidden inside it. The group is the next layer. Predators prefer separation. They look for the calf at the edge, the deer that falls behind, the bird away from cover, the fish split from the school. A campsite is rarely one isolated body. It is several bodies close together, and if one wakes shouting, the others wake too. Noise spreads, lights turn on, people stand upright, doors unzip, objects are grabbed. The situation becomes chaotic very fast. For a predator, chaos is injury risk. Humans also look larger than their weight suggests. Standing upright makes the body tall, assertive, and hard to read. Bears stand to investigate and intimidate. Gorillas rise and display. Humans do it as their default shape. Even if the animal first sees a sleeping form, the possibility that it may suddenly unfold into a tall, noisy, tool-using primate is part of the risk. This is why most attacks that do happen come from broken situations, not normal ones. In 1898, 2 male lions near Tsavo in Kenya killed railway workers over months, becoming one of the most famous predator stories in history. The numbers are still debated, but the deeper point is less cinematic. These lions were unusual. One had serious dental damage, which likely made normal prey harder to kill. Injury can rewrite an animal's menu. The Champawat tiger, blamed for more than 400 deaths in India and Nepal in the early 1900s, had also been damaged. Jim Corbett, the hunter who killed her, reported broken canine teeth from an earlier gunshot wound. A tiger built to take deer and wild pigs had been pushed toward humans because its normal method no longer worked. The pattern appears again and again: starvation, injury, old age, habitat loss, repeated feeding by tourists, garbage access, or too much contact with people. Something removes the normal fear or makes desperation stronger than caution. That is when the ancient agreement fails. This is why the practical rules matter. Store food away from the tent. Do not feed wildlife. Do not sleep beside scraps, toothpaste, fish, grease, or sweet wrappers. Keep distance from animals that seem too comfortable around people. Danger often begins when humans teach predators that our smell means calories instead of trouble. The final twist is that our frightening reputation is now changing ecosystems without us touching them. The same work on pumas showed more than fear in one animal. When large predators avoid areas with human sound and activity, prey can behave differently there. Deer may browse more heavily. Coyotes, foxes, and bobcats may shift where they hunt. Rodents and smaller animals can expand or move differently. A human voice in a landscape can ripple through feeding, movement, vegetation, and competition. that is a strange kind of power. Not the power of claws or speed, but the power of inherited fear. The sleeping camper feels fragile because, individually, we are fragile. Our skin tears easily. Our night vision is poor. Our bodies are slow compared with the animals we imagine outside the tent. But the animal outside is not judging only the body in the sleeping bag. It is reacting to a species that travels in groups, wakes to strange sounds, uses tools, controls fire, changes landscapes, and has punished bold predators for thousands of generations. So when you lie awake in a tent and hear something move beyond the nylon, that little pulse of fear is not foolish. It is old equipment doing its job. It kept people close to the fire. It made them listen. It made them store food carefully and sleep near others. But most of the time, the animal in the dark is doing its own ancient calculation. It smells the smoke, the fabric, the strange chemicals, the group, the human trace. It remembers nothing consciously. It does not need to. It turns away because evolution has already taught it the answer.